In traditional Japanese theater, there is a figure known as the Kuroko. They are a theatrical stagehand dressed entirely in black, whose sole purpose is to remain completely invisible while elevating the main performance. Matsuzaki Shuzo applies this exact concept directly to the dining table. They pour all of their resources into engineering a single signature sake brand, Hirotogawa, designed specifically to act as this invisible stagehand. The sake is deliberately crafted not to steal the spotlight. Instead, it maintains a perfect, comforting texture across all temperatures, from chilled to warmed, solely to support and highlight the main dish. True culinary mastery for this brewery is defined by extreme humility, crafting a sake so flawlessly supportive of everything around it that you eagerly finish the entire bottle. The brewery's origins date back to 1892. For most of its history, Matsuzaki Shuzo operated on a minuscule scale, functioning as a community-dependent facility, producing standard sake strictly for the local villagers of Tenei. In March 2011, the Great East Japan earthquake struck, causing immense region-wide devastation to the local landscape and infrastructure. In the immediate aftermath of the disaster, the brewery faced a secondary crisis. Their veteran Nambu master brewer collapsed due to poor health, leaving the production floor entirely leaderless. Facing an existential threat to the family legacy, 26-year-old Hiroyuki Matsuzaki stepped into the vacuum, officially taking over as the sixth-generation production manager to brew the sake himself. Forced to act out of sheer survival, Hiroyuki abandoned the brewery's old localized framework and initiated a transition toward high-quality, hands-on craft brewing. Taking control required decisive action. Hiroyuki completely rejected the industry norm of developing multiple spin-off labels to chase temporary market trends. Instead, he made the strategic choice of concentrating 100% of the brewery's financial and physical resources into perfecting a single absolute brand, Hirotogawa. Hiroyuki dedicated himself to foundational honesty. He sought direct validation from Fukushima's top sake advisor to perfectly replicate classic, taught techniques without cutting corners. To execute this, he assembled an exceptionally young, unified crew of just 7 brewers. At 38 years old, Hiroyuki is the absolute eldest member of the team. Removing market distractions and relying on the physical synchronization of this young crew results in the consistent, refined character that defines their production today. Inside their newly updated Koji room, this small team executes identical shared procedures to manage a strictly capped production volume of just 144,000 liters. They enforce strict manual operations, using all 5 senses to make minuscule adjustments to temperature and surface moisture. This requires grueling, around-the-clock monitoring. The brewers use continuous visual and physical perception to suppress fermentation temperatures in the mash tanks, successfully managing yeast behavior even through extreme summer heat. Once pressed, the sake is immediately bottled. They execute a single, rapid in-bottle pasteurization process before plunging the bottles straight into low-temperature refrigeration. This exhausting sensory management and rapid preservation sequence is the only way to lock in the vibrant freshness required for a true stagehand sake. Their primary raw ingredient presents a unique hurdle. Yume no Ka is a local sake rice unique to Fukushima that dissolves easily, but it possesses highly fragile physical traits. Because the grains are so prone to cracking when exposed to moisture, the team manually controls the washing and soaking times down to the exact second. The second environmental challenge is the estate's medium-hard well water. The high mineral profile activates yeast rapidly, which naturally pushes the brew toward a very sharp, dry finish. To counter this, the brewers weaponize the freezing winter air of Tenei Village to enforce a low-temperature, long-term fermentation cycle that deliberately restrains yeast activity. Protecting fragile rice down to the second, while using freezing air to suppress harsh mineral water, creates Hirotogawa's signature transparent, gentle snap. Ultimately, Matsuzaki Shuzo operates on the belief that their sake is structurally inseparable from the agriculture, natural groundwater, and sprawling ecosystem of Tenei Village. To protect the integrity of this local identity, The brewery explicitly rejects the model of mass production and mass marketing to an unspecific audience. They strictly maintain a limited distribution network made up entirely of highly specialized retailers who completely share the brewery's rigorous temperature and quality control philosophies. Building a solid foundation of trust with these visible retailers and local restaurants secures a sustainable, independent business model for future generations. Pouring a glass of Hirotogawa delivers the resilient soul of Tenei Village. It proves that true mastery lies in remaining in the background, flawlessly elevating everything around you.